Greetings, everybody, and welcome. Welcome back to the Ace Attorney Trilogy. Thank you so much for coming to join me today. How is everybody doing this evening, or afternoon, or whatever time it is in your part of the world? Yeah, Rowan, I know that feeling. I know that feeling all too well. And I'm realizing just now that I forgot once again to adjust the volume of the game audio on my headphones. I don't know why, but for some reason, this game in particular, I have to just constantly reduce the audio levels in the headphone output because it's just way too loud. Ah, very good, Alex. I hope you have an opportunity to get a decent dinner. The first one, Eclecticath. I need a bit of a break. I'd been resorting to Dark Souls 1 over the past few days just because there was so little else that I felt able to play, you know? I'd been having a lot of trouble picking out a game, and even finishing the second Ace Attorney game, just because freaking, what's it called? Turnabout Big Top was such a miserable slog. It was hard to motivate myself to finish this, too. Although at least now that we're past that, it'll be a little easier. Nestorados, hello, it has been a while. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Oh, very good, Alex. The only good tomato soup in my experience is homemade. Hello, Tuna, welcome! Good to see you, thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Sugar Crow, as well! Welcome to you and Nako. And Angry German Gamer, greetings! I am kinda tired, Nestorados. I'm hanging in, but the fatigue is there. I didn't sleep all that well last night, and I mean, I rarely do, even when I get to bed when I want to get to bed. But other than that, I'm hanging in. How about you, Nestorados? How are you holding up? Tuna, have you seen Sugar Crow's cats? Have you seen the pictures of them that she posts? They are so adorable. They are so fluffy. Sugar Crow, if you have to get up at 5 a.m., then maybe now is a good time to fall asleep. I'm a tea drinker, Daku. But I don't begrudge coffee drinkers their cup, you know? They've got theirs, I've got mine. I've actually got some with me right here, so if you're gonna go grab a cup, now is a perfect time to do so before we get started. I'll give you a minute or two, go for it. Sugar Crow, that's your cue. I think we need a picture for Tuna. Oh, very nice, Tuna. 3 hamburgers is a pretty decent dinner. Oh, congrats, Nestorados. Which shiny was it? Oh, shiny Snom. Very nice. Excellent. Congratulations, Nestorados. That must have taken quite a while. They definitely haven't really made the shiny hunt any easier in Sword and Shield from the looks of it. That works, Tuna. More for you. Oh, you got it through breeding. I see, Nestorados. Yeah, the fact that that's still the most efficient way, Nestorados, is kind of unfortunate, but... at least it hasn't gotten worse. Hello, Carbonic Ice Cream! Welcome! Tuna, when you say we, are you speaking as a tea drinker or a coffee drinker? There it is. Thank you, Sugar Crow. Oh, it's the one from yesterday. I love this one. Look at him, he's so comfy. Sugar Crow, do you still have the one of Okatsu lying on the bed with one eye half open, looking really grumpy and really comfortable at the same time? If you have that one, you should show him that one. Oh, geez, Nestorados. That's rough. Yeah, Daku, we're all about some pictures of pets here. We like those. Awesome, Sugar Crow. Sorry, Sugar Crow, I know you come here to be entertained, not to have the broadcaster demand cat pictures from you. I just, you know... cat pictures make everything better. Seriously, Tuna? Like, you literally asked 50 of your coworkers who drink coffee... What, they only drink it for the caffeine, then? Is that what you're saying? I know, Sugar Crow, I know. Hello, Kim Marie, how are you doing? Oh, cycling okay, Tuna, I gotcha. I was gonna say, that's an awful lot of people you interact with in one shift. No problem, Marie, I'm glad to have you, even just for a little while. Where did we even leave off? I guess it was, I guess it was probably this one. Let's see, Sugar Crow. Oh, I'm gonna have to... Yeah, that one! How did I get into this mess? That's far enough. You can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Wait, what? Oh, what have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. What? But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence. You are no longer worthy of your title. I think I might have loaded the wrong save file. I've had this dream before someplace. Oh, okay, no, I didn't load the wrong save file, because there's another point where you... As if this day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. Well, Carbonic, that's probably one of the most dramatic moments in the entire game. And there's another point in the game where you load a save file and you immediately get that dream sequence. And that was why I thought I'd loaded the wrong save. But I guess they just repeat it here. Oh, geez, Kim, I'm sorry to hear that. I really hope that at the very least you're able to get by with the rental until you get your car fixed. Believe me, I know how much of a pain that is. Having to deal with a car that doesn't always work or isn't reliable. Yeah, Sugar Crow, that's the image. That adorable just, huh? What? I'm sleeping. Leave me alone. Alright. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? Oh, there he is. Haha, if you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Now listen up, you better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag of not guilty, I'll never forgive you ever. Phoenix. Mia? Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. It's that accursed on guard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Ah, Gumshoe! I'm really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing after D-Killer, pal. Oh, alright! Well, that's convenient. They just hired him back to the police station after they fired him from the police station. Huh? Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy, but we're not going to give up. Gumshoe, until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're going to do everything we can and find the killer. Carbonic ice cream, there are basically 2 completion states for each case in this game. And they are... you win the case, or you lose the case. And losing the case is basically a fail state. Oh god, Nestorados, no. Oh. If you can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true, I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we've got just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix, you understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. I have like 1, maybe 2 friends for this trial. 2.5 if you count Edgeworth. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. Yeah, Daku, but the judge is such a pushover. Like, the judge in this game is just a candy-ass pansy who is easily influenced by threats from the prosecution. So, unfortunately, I don't think we can really call him a friend. He's just a doofus. Oh, Tuna, don't worry about it. I mean, that's what save states are for, right? Or save files. Hello, Piranha Guppy, welcome, thank you for joining us. Well, yeah, Alex, but so does Phoenix. At least anytime freaking Franziska's involved. Yeah, Nestorados, the judge's name is never revealed throughout the series, but I'm gonna take a wild guess, and just guess that his name is the Honorable Can D. Ass, Esquire, the Third. What? Why, Tuna? Why Snake? He doesn't look anything like Snake. Alright, let me just finish my tea here and we'll, Yeah, something like that, Piranha Guppy. Maybe so, Nestorados, maybe so. Alright. Hello, Rockethead, welcome! Alright, court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being, what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder? That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she's guilty after all. I'm not finished, Your Honor. Ms. Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder, which, for once, is true on Edgeworth's part. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, Juan Corrida was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt on guard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can, at least until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay, I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. Most of the names in this game are pretty terrible, Tuna. Let's not pull our punches here. They're pretty terrible. Oh, nice, Nestorados. I hope you got a good deal on it. Because he's fashionable, T-Quick. Look at the way that man dresses. Tell me you wouldn't hire him. Yeah, I didn't know that. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I'd like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Engarde's room. Okay, sure. Tuna, you dirty, dirty boy. Yeah, not bad at all, Nestorados. After the awards ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony, except that the bellboy, we now know, was actually Shelly the Killer. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Engarde was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy. What are you implying? Hello, Malkaresh! Yeah, you'll have your opportunity today. This is the high-definition re-release of the first 3 Ace Attorney games. This is on PS4. Yes, T-Quick. No, Nestorados, the assassin was apparently dressed as a bellboy. Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap! Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just gonna have to charge in head first, right? Yeah, I guess we'll have to spring it. Alright, it's time to press him, I guess. You went by yourself to Matt's room. He was standing there in his costume. Okay, that one I'm curious about. And this one I'm curious about. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. Okay. Tell me more. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do. So how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. Oh, okay. You had guests and you couldn't make them wait. He was talking with someone. At first? What do you mean by that? I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... you know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Okay. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. Alright, we're probably supposed to press this. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. Wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. Ooh, this is probably where I save the game. I'm gonna go ahead and just guess that it's the tip we're supposed to ask about? The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. Hey, Sam, how you doing? Good to see you. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave the bellboy? Honestly, I don't even know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? Sounds like maybe it was the payment for an assassination. You're on your way to Boston, Sam? What the hell kind of coincidence is that? What are you doing in Boston? I literally just left there a few days ago, and now you're on your way there. What brings you into the city? Oh, okay, Sam, I gotcha. Oh, Strav, good to see you again. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, I know, right, Strav? Oh, Sam, you're gonna be okay. Everything is gonna work out just fine, Sam. Trust me. That kind of surgery is relatively, maybe not routine, but it's relatively common. You'd be surprised how many people get that surgery. And it's fairly simple. Very low risk. You're going to be just fine, Sam. Everything's going to work out. Sam, I'll tell you what. Yeah, the anesthesia will help as well. But, there's also not too much of a recovery period after that. It's really pretty manageable. You're going to be okay. So, you know, just hang in there. Sam, I'll tell you what. Just for you, as soon as I'm done streaming, I'm going to go... I was working on editing some other videos that I recorded from Thanksgiving, but I'm going to drop those, and I'm going to go finish the fine dining episode on Baba Louie's, and I will have that ready and uploaded for you by the time you get back from your surgery. So hopefully that will make you feel at least a little bit better. Oh, you have? Okay, Sam. So you already know. Alright, well, yeah, you hang in there, and, as soon as I'm done streaming, I will get right to work on editing that episode. I'll get that together and upload it as soon as I can. Hopefully it should be in time for you to get back home. It'll be something for you to watch while you're, recovering. But hang in there, Sam, and, actually, Sam, while you're in Boston, depending on where you're going, because, I can think of maybe 2, possibly 3 different clinics or hospitals where I could guess you're having your surgery done. Ask your parents if you have time, or if you feel up to it. Ask them to take you to Fogo de Chão. And if Anderson or Anna are working there, tell them that I sent you. It might not get you a discount or anything, but they'll probably at least be really nice and take extra good care of you. Joe Mom! That's a fairly straightforward username that I wasn't expecting. Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping in. All is okay with me, thank you. I hope all is well with you as well. Very good, Sam. I'll tell you what, nothing will make you feel better like some Brazilian barbecue. The LP Hustle 2017? I haven't done an LP, well, not on YouTube anyway, since, what, last year? Glad to hear that, Joe. Well, that's kind of the point, Alex, is, a trip to the meat dimension fixes everything. Unfortunately, Nestorados, that didn't pan out. It turns out that gift subs no longer count toward that. So I got everybody all hyped up for nothing, and I feel quite the fool for it. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say for nothing. The extra gift subs did help. That was definitely my best month on Twitch numerically, but unfortunately they didn't accomplish the goal that I was hoping they would accomplish. And I feel terrible for having unintentionally led everyone on. No, 2017. Unfortunately. Sam, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a link to that video. Just show your parents the video, and I guarantee it'll be enough to convince them. There you go, Sam. Oh, okay, Jonathan Shuley, I see. You must have changed your name within the past few days, then. Because I ran into you just the other day on, I want to say it was either Rebby's channel or Sarah's channel or somewhere. And you still had your previous name. Yeah. Oh, it was both. Okay, good. I'm not completely senile yet. That's a relief. You know, 2017, you say that, but for about the past week, ever since I got back from Thanksgiving, I've been playing nothing but Dark Souls 1. And it's already been, purely because I was playing Dark Souls 1, it's been a better first week of December, numbers-wise, than the entire month of November. Although granted, that was because my sleep schedule was really screwed up for about 3 weeks of November and I didn't stream a lot. So there unfortunately was a bit of a hiatus there that I did not intend to take. No obligation, Nestorados. No, you don't have to. I mean, if you're interested, you can. But I linked that video explicitly for Sam because he's going to be in the city where that restaurant is located. And since he's about to undergo surgery, the poor kid deserves to have a nice meal out of the deal. Yeah, 2017, affiliate is relatively simple. I don't want to say easy because for some people it is a challenge, but affiliate is the kind of thing that if you play the right games, purely by virtue of the game you're playing, even if you're a terrible streamer or you're not even doing any commentary, like if you're streaming from a potato and you don't have a microphone, as long as you're playing the right game, you can get to affiliate. Partner's a little harder. Malkaresh, no, actually, it's a different place that I did a video on a couple of years ago. If you want, Malkaresh, I'll give you the link. And Malkaresh, I saw your comment on the Cornish pasty video the other day. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Joe, they actually are a little bit clearer about their criteria now. Fogo de Chão, Alex, that's the one. Oh, I saw yours, Alex. I think I might have responded to yours too, actually. "2017, you know, you joke, but I actually had that happen. Another viewer of mine, who goes by the username Shindeel, whom actually... Oh, whoops, that's not how to do a shout-out. There we go. I rated him once with, I think, a little over 100. I think it was like 120 or something. And he had just started streaming not long before that, at least if I understand correctly. And he came back and told me later that from that one raid, he did actually end up getting affiliate. So, you know, it's funny to say 2017, but it's actually true. On the other hand, it's really nice to know that my channel is just big enough that at least if I'm playing the right game, I have the ability to just go raid someone who's sitting there with 0 viewers and instantly get them affiliate. Oh yeah, 2017, it's because I have some measures in place to help prevent cutoff. I've got some buffering applied to the stream in OBS to help mitigate that, because I'm on a really crappy internet connection. Totally independently of Twitch, my internet connection just sucks because German internet is trash. And so I have to take a couple of extra measures to ensure consistent stream quality. Anyway, that certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. There's nothing I can really object to here. I mean, who can argue with that a fat roll of money isn't really odd? So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida. Murder? Then the bellboy the witness saw. Yes, he was the assassin. Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley de Killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelley de Killer? He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the Killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What? Yeah, when he kidnapped Maya. Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir, right away. The second time. This time, I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Mr. Juan Corrida's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean... Thank you very much. That's all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done, there's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer, then we shall see. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Where we at, 2017? An actor was murdered, and it appears that the person who murdered him was an assassin hired by a rival actor. And we have the misfortune that the rival actor who hired the assassin is now blackmailing us to get him off the hook. Oh yeah, Sam, I've seen some of those. It's always really silly to see that kind of dumb stuff on the highway. Sam, I'm gonna guess that you guys got on 91 through West Stockbridge. Like the highway on-ramp right across the street from the gas station there. Because it seems like for whatever reason there's always some weird stuff getting on or off the highway at that exit. I've seen like trucks carrying sheds. I've seen trucks carrying like gigantic tanks or pieces of farm equipment. I don't know what it is about that neighborhood. Well, Alex, that was the route that my mother and I always used to take when we would drive into Boston when I was a kid, when I was living in Connecticut. We would go through the town of Great Barrington, which is basically on Sam's way. So I figure he would probably end up taking the same route. Yeah, I figured, Sam. Hopefully you guys will be able to dodge rush hour. Usually, Sam, it gets a little bit sticky when you pass the Hartford on-ramp. Like where I think it's 84 merges with 91. That sucks. Like, it'll be smooth sailing from West Stockbridge all the way up to the Hartford exit. But as soon as the Hartford traffic starts merging in, then it starts to get, like, bumper to bumper, and the traffic is just awful. We actually had that happen to us, my mother and I, when we were on our way in for Thanksgiving. It was fine till we got to Hartford, but then all the traffic from Hartford getting on the Mass Turnpike is like, yeah, no, I hope you brought a good book or like a handheld game device or something. Anyway, sorry, this is really New England specific banter here. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha 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 ha. This is no laughing matter. All right, Edgeworth, I'll dance for you. Let me just put my clown shoes on. Okay, and that's when the bellboy you saw earlier came out of the room. This could be important. Good, Sam. I'm glad to hear that. Smooth sailing to you guys, I hope. Are you sure it was the same bellboy? Yeah, and how could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform, after all. Sprite sheet spoilers? 2017? That seems really specific. But you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt. So which room did the bellboy come out of? Of course, when I say room, I mean one corridor's room. Okay. Oh, gotcha, 2017. Yeah, I actually became familiar with the Ace Attorney series through a lot of the meme videos and YTPs that I watched on YouTube. That was actually how I found out about this series, was because I happened to see a few of those videos and I was like, oh, what game are these sprites from? These look cool. And then I did some research and I found my answer, and that was how I ended up here. Okay, he seemed out of place. Why? So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's going to say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or... No, I think maybe we'd better try to pull a fast one. There is nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really, really is. There really, really isn't. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth, you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I mean, we already know that Edgeworth is correct here and he's telling the truth. This is the absolute worst. I will hand it to them. As bad as the rest of the writing is in this game, I will grant them that it genuinely feels frustrating to know full well that we are defending a guilty man. Hey, Luke, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming to join us. Oh, ouch, Duels. Yeah, that's always the worst, is when a sprite gives you story spoilers. Although at the very least, Duels, fortunately that happens early enough in the series that, like, it's not a major endgame spoiler, but... yeah, it's still irritating to get spoiled on something like that. Alright, let's see. I see. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. All right. he's revised it, which is probably a sign that we should press it again. Carbonic, the first game, is a lot better. The writing in the first game was of much higher quality, whereas in this game, which is the second one, it clearly didn't get enough QA. The writing in this game is much more amateurish, and this game also has what is regarded, and I agree, at least in my experience so far, to be the worst case in the entire series. But I've only ever played the first game, and this is my first time playing through this one. I haven't played the third one or any of the spin-offs yet. But the first game was great. This one, eh. Oh, well, yeah, at the very least, Sam, it was only an appearance and not story spoilers. They very much phoned it in on the second game, Nestorados, yes. Which I gather was because the writing team for the second game was different than for the first one. They had a new lead writer for this game, and it appears that she did a very slapdash job. So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand, and there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. Juice? What kind of juice was it? I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice. If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court Oh, now we've got to give bullshit evidence. To provide plausible deniability, we're going to have to show the wine glass. Objection! Sorry to say it, Waltz Queen, but it is so. Mr. Powers. Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? Soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But, isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So? A baseball has stitches? Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have... My God, Phoenix, this is the most... This is the most irrelevant... apples to oranges... cockamamie nonsense. Just set up that straw man, Phoenix. It's fine. Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Corrida's body. The liquid inside the glass is tomato juice. Now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here... anyone can clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Corrida's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. But that would mean the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. But can you prove that Mr. Corrida was already dead at that time? Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? I blame you for leading me down this this freaking judge. This wishy-washy, indecisive judge. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-hand-ed. Recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch-black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Ah, boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Hey, darling! Come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So, a football is made of leather? Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're... God, Phoenix. Phoenix, a law student would pick this defense apart. Ugh. But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy. Seems that we finally come to an understanding. Hey, Ovan! Well, case in point, Tuna. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay. Carbonic, this judge is like a weather vane in a tornado. He's just constantly spinning. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room, then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. Oh, on PC, Ovan? Congratulations! Welcome to 2010! I'm sorry, that was mean. GG, Ovan, genuinely. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room. Yeah, I kinda saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Oh boy. Well, Ovan, better late than never, right? That post with the realistic Mario, Sam? Am I thinking of the same one? You mean just a guy dressed as Mario? Like a photograph of a Mario cosplay, that one? Or is there a different one? Oh, it's the one of the Mario head. Okay, I gotcha, Sam. I see. Yeah, Asylum Cat. I think I've seen that one. I believe I know the one you're talking about. All right. All right, what could I pick apart here? He gave something to the... Okay, yeah, this.
Hold it!
I said hold it! Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay. Should probably ask him only one question at a time. Ask about the person inside? I guess we'll just go down the list. So who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? Sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm. Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. Well, it was Mr. Engarde's room, correct? So it could only have been Mr. Engarde himself, I'd say. And then, what did the bellboy do after that? Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing... Hang on a minute, no. I must have asked the wrong question then, because... What about the something? He gave something to this person? Yeah, and what was this something? Ha ha ha! If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would it? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden Wait a minute. A wooden statue. Don't we have something like that? Yes, I believe we do. I believe it's this.
Objection!
What's going on? Miss Bangle, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime resub. Welcome back. Really appreciate that, and thank you for sharing those emotes. Hey, Captain Dodo, good to see you. How are you doing? And welcome back from lunch, Miss Bangle. What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. Oh no. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It appears the capture just did a weird... Let me try refreshing that. There we go. Alright, okay, I'll just pretend that didn't happen. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw. Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it! That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Mat Engarde's mansion. At the defendant's house? I am right there with you, Captain Dodo. Sticking with a sleep schedule is not an easy thing to do, is it? What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley de Killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. Yeah, Tuna, I think we might have. Then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then, the bear being found at Mr. Engarde's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mat Engarde is de Killer's client. Order, order, order! I said order! Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it's clear that there's no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left that we've not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright. What questionable point would you like to explore further? Okay, so there is clearly only one correct answer here if I'm going to get a penalty for getting it wrong. I think it's the bear itself. It appears to be some kind of container. And I have a feeling there might be something inside it. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found at Mr. Engarde's mansion. Oh, for goodness sake. Alright, hang on. I wonder if it's just this game that the capture doesn't like. Because I've had this happen before, and it only seems to be with this particular game that it happens. Alright, yeah, I wonder that too, Mojo. I could dig around. It probably is one of the automatic HDMI switches that I have set up to route inputs from the PS4 into my capture card. It probably is one of those on the fritz. Alright, anyway. However, Mr. Engarde was arrested at the hotel that night. Which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. I know, Captain Dodo, if it's not one damn thing, it's another. Is it not possible that it was Mr. Engarde? It is not possible that it was Mr. Engarde who took the bear to this mansion. Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Phew, looks like disaster is... Oh. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Mr. Engarde's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was D-Killer. D-Killer and Engarde were working together, so to speak. And D-Killer was hiding at Engarde's mansion as its butler. What a bold move. The bear figurine was brought back to the Engarde mansion by D-Killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Engarde had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to... I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Power's testimony. What? There is still another one? There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's a questionable point. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explain further? Okay... I'm gonna guess it's the person who received the bear, because we still don't know who that was. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. Sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah! Huh? Huh? What? What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, so I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm... It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it. You've got to be kidding! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Okay, well that would mean that it would have had to be Adrian who took the bear. Order, order! Looks like you've dug your own grave yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt on guard is the Nickel Samurai. Hey, Inder! How you doing? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I just posted another episode of Fine Dining the other day. Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer. Think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt on guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Raise an objection. I will now announce my There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. This one dirty trick! Judges hate him. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at the On Guard mansion. However, it's possible that this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. The real client? Yes. Tisk tisk, is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client and therefore the real murderer? The only other person who was in the room and could have accepted the bear. That would be this young lady.
Take that!
Adrian Andrews? Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt on guard for the crime by wearing a spear Nickel Samurai costume. Ah, then the Nickel Samurai's arm that I saw, that could very well have been Miss Andrews. What about Mr. On Guard? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. On Guard's mansion? It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell On Guard did it. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order, order, order! All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to On Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Ms. Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Ms. Adrian Andrews herself. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? As soon as she gets rescued, I'm gonna send you to the chair, you piece of garbage. Never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt on Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick, Pearls, where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power? Ah! Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is... It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. What about you? Anything yet? You figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! We just had one. Even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself... yes, Waltz Queen, they do. Oh no, Tuna, Edgeworth is totally in cahoots with Phoenix on this one. They both know what's going on. And basically they're both going at the trial with everything they've got because they know that that's how they're going to drag it out long enough for Gumshoe and the rescue team to find Maya. I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. Yeah, Edgeworth is totally in on it, Tuna. He's absolutely in on it. But I've just run out of... Have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. Mia! Looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now, but I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal, the Berry Big Circus. Maya is somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map, about a 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And... I could see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? Sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. Felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Well, now's your chance, Luke Vi. The first game is good. The second one was really hard to get all the way through it. And I've been told that this is the final case in the second game, so... Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? Yeah, good thing she put on some pounds beforehand, Mojo. I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Well, this is one of the more intense cases, Alex. I think probably by far the most intense case in the second game. Oh yeah, Dallin, it's basically Australia in here. There are kangaroos, koala bears, cassowaries, giant venomous spiders, Vadividyas wandering around here somewhere. Hey, Monotone, how you doing? Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Ms. Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Ms. Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why? Why does she... Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. And of course, inside the bear is probably the suicide note that this case is going to hinge on. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. I mean, yes, it's obvious that there was. Yeah, Alex, it would be a little bit more intense and dramatic, except for the fact that we are pointing the police toward where the culprit is holding Maya hostage through the use of basically magical plot bullshit, i.e. spirit channeling. Okay, well, it's a puzzle, is it? A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough, to people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? Okay, if you know the correct order... So you can take it apart, and how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. What are you talking about, Phoenix? This judge has basically been acting like he was 5 from the very beginning of the very first case of the very first game. Welcome back, Soul Bishop. Look at him trying to figure this out. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? Oh, nice, Nestorados. Hey, Ken, welcome. Good to see you. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right, it was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Ms. Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. Alright, we're just gonna go down the list here, because I have no idea what I'm supposed to press. So I'm just gonna do them all. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with this same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone, and as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Enguarde didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Okay. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we've agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What's inside? What's inside? That's right, that's what we're going to find out next. Witness. Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. There is a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle. Oh, okay, click. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess at what this is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celeste Inpax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. It seems Celeste Inpax had very beautiful handwriting. And she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it, and I was gonna burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Very well. Yep, it's Mia, monotone. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her notes, Celeste Inpax left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Enguarde. About being engaged to Corrida and Enguarde's role in destroying that. And about how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Ms. Inpax had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Enguarde. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Hello, Ahmad Hollow, welcome! Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Mad Enguarde values, above all else, his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost! So we get the suicide note. It's on guard's fault, and this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. It's terrible. I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who'll defend these creeps too. There is no room for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we've come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know, I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those. If only, Ovan, if only. The gavel is already in the judge's hand, Phoenix. Hurry! The suicide note or the figurine?
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Matt on guard killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there is a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Corrida until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I say Matt on guard could not have known what was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. Order! 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 Okay, Waltz Queen, have a good one. Take care of yourself. We'll catch you next time. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It's just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. Eh? I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt on guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim, Juan Corrida, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt on guard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you're confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. Eh? But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Gumshoe's bug sweeper? By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Matt on guard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On guard learned of this suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. Got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's going on? Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop. Don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so ew nasty. Phoenix, Yes, Chief. You figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Is running away like a frightened child work? Now, it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case. But in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? Let me just spam that gesture in Edgeworth's face. There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? Really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had a chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? There's this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about. Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I'm gonna present evidence. I have an objection, Your Honor. Huh, that was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
There we go. Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. Eh? Your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. I'm just gonna take a wild guess here and guess it's the suicide note.
Take that!
That is Miss Impax's suicide note, right? Only because it's the most recent piece of evidence to come to light, and we haven't really talked about it or examined it very closely at all. Huh. Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Ms. Impax or not, that has yet to even be remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously... Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake? Ms. Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. On Guard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you! Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. Pretty much, Carbonic, pretty much. Hello, Helois. Welcome. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Ah! Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt on guard. I did no such thing. Right, if you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Ugh! That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note? It is as the defense stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we've reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will be physically able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and the defense further investigate handwriting analysis my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. On guard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that. like we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, guilty, guilty! That had better be Gumshoe with good news. What is that sound? Hello, Gumshoe? Huh. What's with him, and what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal, I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. Wish there was some way I can make it up to you, I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. Going to keep looking for them, pal, don't you worry, I just need a little more time. But don't tell me that we don't have any more. Guilty, guilty, guilty. You hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh, what is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after... Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch!
Take
that! Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you've got to buy us some more time. Court is in session. Beep. I'm sorry, Your Honor, you were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... I am reluctant to do this, however, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time, I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. Wouldn't it be better if we adjourned for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes, please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. Not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. Yeah, they're really stringing us along here, Alex. I kind of get the feeling the writers were desperate to draw out the case almost as much as Phoenix is. Right. Well, what's going on with Maya's situation? The killer, it looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Maybe we can. Repeat. Is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time, just spit it out. Right, it looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho ho, I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. GG, Gumshoe. G freaking G. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my hunk-of-junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red... The look on Edgeworth's face! Oh my god. Gumshoe, if you cause an accident and kill somebody, all our hard work here will have been for nothing. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Oh, Christ. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me. No one can stop me. He did crash, didn't he? What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. Was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. We have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No, we can't let that happen. Well, if there's a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh, why did Gumshoe have to pull his damn stunt now? Freaking Gumshoe. Is there any way we can find out exactly where he is? I mean, we could... Oh, yeah! Von Karma has a tracking beacon on him, doesn't she? That's right, there is a way. What? How? Sure, we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Why are you bringing up Franziska at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try and get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Franziska, will she even want to help us? Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. But what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. Might be my turn to say Defense Attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right, it doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict? Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff? There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. Oh, to be continued? Screw that, we're finishing this. We've got to be near the end. All right. Court will now reconvene. I presume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, everybody's pissed off. Edgeworth's mad. Phoenix is freaking out. The judge is irritated that he had to stay late. Maya's gonna die. Everything sucks. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you'd please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Ms. Impax's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Ms. Impax herself. It is a fake. He's probably lying about this. Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what's going on? If this was not written by Ms. Impax, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Oh, well, it looks like Ms. Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so the facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. His theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was a fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Yeah, we're gonna have to present evidence here. Hello, Zelda! I mean, I've been streaming. Yeah, that's what I do. It's not all I do, but it's one of the things I do. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engarde to not have known it was a fake. Because if those cameras were all over his house, then he would have had to know. He would have seen Corrida forge the note. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. Ah, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays, and your cellular phones, and your satellite television, and your internet, and your artificial insemination, and your, Oh, kill me. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engarde knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? Eh? If that were true, then this means Mr. Engarde would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ah! So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engarde's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engarde monitored Mr. Corrida 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engarde didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Ugh. Order, 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 Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. Ugh. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured. It came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engarde's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the dog from the first Phoenix Wright game. This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of, who was it that hired Shelley DeKiller to commit murder? That's impossible. Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelley DeKiller. Oh, Mr. DeKiller. What? Shelley DeKiller? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand. Hello, Amazing Blanket, welcome! Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this all right with you? Do I have a choice here? Can't really do much else to drag the trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is all right to do this. Very well then, the prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness, your name and your occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley DeKiller, and I'm a professional assassin. This is ridiculous. So, I guess they must have caught him? Yeah, it's terrible, Valvedrix. It's awful. This is just comical, though. My name is Shelley DeKiller, and I'm a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm, and what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. DeKiller will testify to this court. What? So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh, that's right, because On Guard is blackmailing the killer himself. On Guard has evidence on Shelley DeKiller, so Shelley is going to testify. This is nonsense. This is bullshit. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. DeKiller himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley DeKiller. I understand. Please wait a second. Huh? I'm so hungry! Maya! Maya! A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley DeKiller. It looks like we've run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness, there is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida, is this correct? It is as you say, I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. You're having a bad dream? You think you're the one living a nightmare? Right now? Shelley DeKiller, what is he going to say? This is the stupidest it's ever been. This is even stupider than putting that dog on the witness stand. This is even stupider than putting the parrot on the witness stand in the first game. Hello, Perry the Platypus. Welcome. Incredible Matt, I don't think this judge was ever in control of his own court. Ovan, I have a hard time seeing how it could possibly get more stupid. But hey, we'll give it a shot. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on the witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. DeKiller seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. DeKiller is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? Yes, indeed, Klaus. It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. Oh, here we go. Oh, boy. I need some tea before we do this. A couple of paracetamol wouldn't go amiss at this point either, to be frank. Yeah, Carbonic, we probably all do. Oh, boy. No, Klaus, but that's a good point. Okay, so... To an assassin, nothing is more important than the... Okay, so why are you bringing this up? Could it possibly be because Mr. Engard violated that trust and gathered evidence against you to use you? The trust between you and your client? I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the DeKiller name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more. Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. Okay, so what he's driving at here is that Engard did stab him in the back and is therefore no longer his client. So he is willing to sell Engard out in order to preserve his good name, quote-unquote good name, as an assassin. Okay, well... That is the reason I'm here. Okay, could you elaborate a little more? That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. You, who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. It is my wish that you grasp this concept. Oh, okay, we've already... Okay. Alright, Did I miss something? Let me just... Trust between you and your client. Okay, provide services. Discreet about his identity. These are the roles... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is new. These are the roles and duties an assassin and his client are to carry out. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person. I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Right, Erevan, right. Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You've made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. And that is the... Oh, okay. Alright. Now then, I do believe it's about time I reveal the name of my client, don't you agree? Okay, sure. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What?
Objection!
Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? Of course he would double-cross us. This can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Matt Engard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned this witness. You, Shelley the Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow, all of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we've heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. DeKiller's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you've reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Ms. Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, on guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And on guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please, that testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Ms. Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. DeKiller himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. Tuna, I would do my very best to save Maya. But in the real world, there can be an appeal. Also, in the real world, a situation like this would pretty much never happen. Like that, I don't feel like that's even a question that I can answer, Tuna, because we're talking about a case where there is literal magic bullshit happening that is implicating these people in the first place. Oh, Jay! Thank you so much, Jairus. And welcome, thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate your coming to join us, Jay. Well, Klaus, but remember, this was retconned as America in the Western localization, right? So, the truth is a lie. Black is white, up is down. Fact is fiction. I know. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them. Please help me. So, at this point, either Maya is going to die or Andrews is going to get sent to the chair. Please help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I believe we reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? I think we're going to request that the trial continue. Phoenix, I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt on guard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Ms. Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than on guard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten on guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. DeKiller. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. Eh? There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once those pieces arrive in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Yeah, because it's plot armor, right? We select the correct options and we get the plot armor. Ah, very nice, Rocket Head. Right, Tuna, you'll never ever hear that from a real attorney. Yeah, Carbonic, there's magic. Basically what's going on is that Mia is actually dead. She was killed in the first game. And her niece, Pearl, is channeling her spirit. Because Mia and Pearl and Maya all come from a Japanese family of spirit channelers. Which is really convenient when you're a lawyer who almost exclusively handles murder cases, homicides. Hello, Maximilian, welcome. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please reestablish connection with Mr. DeKiller. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about, usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. DeKiller, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? Oh, Edgeworth is trying to catch DeKiller in a lie, and he's going to rely on me to catch that lie. I gotcha. Edgeworth is setting him up, and I'm going to take him down. All right, we're going to do the old double team. I see what's happening here. Oh, thank you, Maximilian. I'm really glad. I really appreciate that. I'm glad anybody watched it. Okay, here we go. As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is a most unexpected turn of events for the, 5th time now? That's why the game is called Turnabout Courtroom in Japanese. However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this, do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here. Good idea, Ovan. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes 2 of us. Alright, here we go. We're gonna have to just hope Gumshoe isn't actually dead. But as a matter of fact, I think I already see where I can get him. Because he says she already knew from the beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. We can prove that's not true. From the very beginning. That's correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Huh? Yeah, okay. If Edgeworth is commenting on it, then... yeah, okay. If Edgeworth is already commenting on it, then I'm quite certain. Because remember the testimony about the wine glass where she said she was so shocked? We learned something about this that I think will contradict the killer's statement here.
Objection!
Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass? Mr. DeKiller's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted. Which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. See, at this point, Tuna, in real life, Shelley would have just immediately killed Maya. Maya would be dead. That would be it. Case would be over. And at that point, I would have no reason not to get on guard convicted. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive that there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Hello, Mel. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us some more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Alright, this is getting a little tiresome, to be honest. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I've made no mistakes. Alright, so you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Alright. A week ago. Request for his services on the night of the ceremony. You met at a bar. Okay, this raises a red flag to me right away. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with that brief pause? Okay, press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I've never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? No? Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to... We got him! We got him! Mr. Adrian Andrews. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes. Yes, it was. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include your statement just now in your testimony. Very well. Yeah, exactly, Zelda. And the only reason DeKiller would think that Adrian Andrews was a man is if he had not met her in person. Obviously. Although that to me is bizarre, because how could he have not met her or known about her, known who she was, at least known that she was a woman, considering her close connection to On Guard? Whoops. Well, Tuna, the point is, it proves that he didn't actually meet her in person. Because if he had, he'd have known she's a woman. I don't think there's anything else in here that we could... Yeah, okay, him. All right. Well, Mr. DeKiller, I hate to break it... Oh, damn it! Damn it, no, I didn't mean to do that. That was a freaking wrong button press. Ugh. Anyway, as I was saying, I do believe, Mr. DeKiller, that we have a case of mistaken identity here.
Objection!
I would like to go over this one more time. Well, Tuna, the writing in this game has definitely suffered over the first game. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that's correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley DeKiller, you have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Huh? Why would you say that? Because you made one very big fucky wucky about her. So what is the issue? Oh. What did you just say? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Yeah, Klaus, and it was, I think, written very hastily as well. Ah, the freaking radio breaks. Oh, that animation is the best. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face-to-face with clients when taking their request. But he's never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means Mr. DeKiller's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Oh, look at the freaking radio is just leaking oil now. Sweating oil. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name. Except that I've never heard Adrian used for anybody but women. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. DeKiller, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Really, Valvidrix? Okay, well, I guess that proves Edgeworth's point, then. Fascinating. Why am I the only person who's only ever known women named Adrian? Shelley DeKiller, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow... Now the guy who was just threatening to murder the judge is sweating bullets of oil? This is nonsense. Yeah, Tamad, I used to work with kids as well. Although we never actually had any kids named Adrian, either male or female. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. But this buys us time. Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Yeah, that's the obvious one, Mad Hollow. Alright. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. Yeah, sure. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying because he explicitly said he doesn't take jobs by mail. Be careful. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Alright. So, the most obvious thing here is this. He took this request for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things? What like, exactly? 2 or 3 other things? Yes, and what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide? No! It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. That's fine, I just saved. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue this cross-examination. Could it be that you were planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait! Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. Shouldn't press my luck. I have to think. Is this worth... Yes. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. Because if I back down from him there, he's gonna know that he called me out. That he called my bluff. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Korida's suitcase. And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Take it easy, Tuna. Hang in there. Good luck with everything, man. If you need to talk about anything when you get back, just come find me, okay? Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. Okay. We pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Well, looks like we're still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we're going, we'll end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation that will put us in. Oh yeah, all I can do now is pray those items reach us in time. Okay. One of these was to find the bear, alright. I found this figurine at Mr. Engarde's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Engarde, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? Yeah, there's a contradiction. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there is a contradiction, and yet I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So what now? Yeah, we're gonna have to present evidence. And I think the strongest evidence we have is the suicide note, again. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Engarde's mansion. Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Because of this. Shelley the Killer, if you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item. Oh, he can't see it, right. I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order! 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 So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... Hey, Callow, welcome! Good evening to you! It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh! Order! Order! Ugh, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not... That's enough. If that is your intention, there is only one thing for me to do. Wait, please, gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please, not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand, otherwise... Gumshoe, now would be a really good time. What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should... Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... the prosecution, Just come over, everyone. Even you are... The prosecution rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Hey, Bob. Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. If I end the trial here right now, then your client, Matt Engard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Engard, to the stand. The items from DeKiller's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You've done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you were innocent. Huh. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Engard? What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap. It's just atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? You know, I'm tempted to let Maya die just to spite you. You better get Engard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. Maya accepted her fate. She knows what she's in for. If I say he's innocent, then Ms. Andrews will be charged as a murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice, someone's gonna die. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on the matter. The person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews. Then your client, Matt Engard, is innocent. Huh, then there's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's gonna say what I want, aren't you? No. I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Engard, is guilty. Fuck him. Sorry, Maya. We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Oh, they're gonna pull one of these. Matt Engard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Engard is ow. Oh, hello. Franziska von Karma. What are you doing here? Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool. Alright, you've got a point this time, Franziska, for once. Why her, Griggs? Because she's the one who had a tracking beacon planted on Gumshoe, and she's the one who could get to his car and retrieve the evidence. Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside the... Oh, his coat. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoe's. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. Right, Luke? But that's what it always comes down to in Japanese games like this. They always build it up for this moment in the most predictable possible way. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. Pretty much, Carbonic. Because all we were doing for the last hour was stalling. I've fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what's inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? Gumshoe deserves to be the damn chief of police at this point, Slice. And yet he keeps getting screwed over again and again and again. This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What?
Objection!
Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Ms. Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Ms. Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by DeKiller during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor, DeKiller left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around like a miracle. 'Cause, come on, it's an anime game. It's just how it works. I'm sure of it. This is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does DeKiller's pistol have anything to do with this case? No, because the only thing it was used for was to shoot Franziska herself. Pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Please present the next piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. This is going to be important. I bet DeKiller took that from On Guard Mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. DeKiller went back for it? That's right, it looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from DeKiller. Shelley DeKiller is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that the uniform from the hotel? Yes, we need this. Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain it was. There's evidence of a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it, DeKiller was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There is a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. Okay. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley DeKiller's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Ms. Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful, absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix, I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far, you can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try, just for my sake, think about it for a second. Yeah, Gumshoe is best, bro. Zelda. He's, like, singly the best character in this game. He's better than Phoenix. For goodness sake. There are two ways out of this situation for us. Two. The first, make Angard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Marty, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Really appreciate that. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Angard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way, force the killer to end his contract with Angard. If the killer were to no longer think of Angard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Yeah, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty toward his client. Okay, I bet if we had the tape... Right, Monty? Time flies, doesn't it? He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what's always worked for us? Okay, the other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We've seen all the pieces of evidence. That's how we come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. Oh, the killer doesn't know that he was videotaped. He doesn't know that he was betrayed. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle. Okay, well, first of all... So we have to let the killer know that Angard sold him out. Alright, I got it. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then, you want to show evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible. To turn this situation around in one What a Japanese conversation. Masaka. This is Japanese levels of cringe that I haven't seen since the last time I watched anime, which was years ago. One try, that is all I will permit. I have to try to remember. I know what to do here. This is obvious. We need to... Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Angard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? We need to show it to Shelly the Killer. And we need to show him the videotape that Matt Angard recorded of him killing Juan Corrida to blackmail Shelly. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you'd like to show him. We need to show him the tape. Because he was trying to get it back, but he clearly hadn't watched it yet, had he? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape that was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. No, we got him. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and a time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Engarde film the crime? So that he'd be able to blackmail him! The reason he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason your client would secretly film the crime scene, which is obviously to blackmail you. To betray your trust, which you're so up your own ass about. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. Bitch. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley D. Killer? Ugh. Ugh. God, that animation, I love it. It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. It's a radio, Rishi, because the killer is an assassin, or the guy on the other end of the radio is an assassin who doesn't want to actually show up in court because he'd be pinched the moment he did. Nice, Rishi. Really working up your way to a career on Twitch, aren't you? That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the Killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target, as we could have guessed from the very beginning. Oh, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case. You're only figuring that out now, Phoenix? Really? Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Beep. Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. No, Carbonic, apparently Phoenix was just making it up as he went. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion, however, I'm sort of... Jungle Rabba, thank you so much for the resub, welcome back! Really appreciate your support. I don't quite know what just happened there, with the client and the witness, and... Ah! Ms. Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Yeah, she certainly does. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Uh-oh, Matt. Uh-oh. Oopsie poopsie. Matty Waddy made a little fucky wucky. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I'd like to make one final statement. It does, doesn't it, Venmaru? Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this all right with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of a very You know, I'm tempted to get Matt his acquittal now. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix, plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. You know, we're gonna go both ways here. We're gonna see what happens. But I think first, we're gonna give him his freedom. We're gonna just let him walk free and enjoy the sweet, sweet taste of freedom and never being able to live without looking over his shoulder. Congratulations, Mr. Matt On Guard. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty. Very well. This court finds the defendant Matt On Guard. Please wait. What's the matter? If I get a not guilty, I'll be killed. I'm guilty. As always, it looks like we've uncovered the real truth. No thanks to you, you idiot. I don't remember you helping out much. You see? See? You just sat there like a wet blanket and let Edgeworth and me do all the work. And Franziska at the very end. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt On Guard? I've left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes, I plan to pay my debt to society for my crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. She's down with the sickness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. Kind, sensitive Edgeworth. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I am really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is This is the first time I've felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. See you all in jail, I guess. It looks like we've resolved everything yeah, everyone gets their happy ending. Shelly the Killer got betrayed. Matt's either gonna die or spend the rest of his life in jail. Or die in jail when they execute him for committing murder. Maya's basically starved to death. Phoenix's career is over. The judge is going to go home and take his meds and go to sleep. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. Oh yeah, Gumshoe's also dead. Carbonic, that's true. And that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. Alright, well... You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. That wording makes me really uncomfortable. You got them a guilty verdict. No, I was trying to get him acquitted. I would rather have seen his guts pasted all over the sidewalk by the killer than see him actually live out the rest of his natural life in jail. But hey, we don't all get to pick and choose our endings in these kinds of games, do we? But you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there's something more important than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Ms. Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. It wasn't really all that difficult, honestly. Now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Or should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt on guard, is... Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right. Edgeworth? I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody. Really? Pearls? You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Ah, Mystic Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick! Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Nick will save her, Nick will save her. Wah! Thanks. Oh, what's wrong? Ms. Von Karma. About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you're still happy. I don't think you'll ever understand, Ms. Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry, she may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I'd lost everything because of that. And then... it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. Oh yeah, that case. I remember that. Edgeworth and Gumshoe are tied, I'd say, Carbon. And I was saved by that person who I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. Huh, as well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man, Ano Hitowa, would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. I disagree with Edgeworth that the truth will always find a way to make itself known. You get a public that's rabid enough not to believe the truth. And the truth can get covered up. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth? Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding, isn't that right? In English, Alex, yeah, in Romanji. This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night. Ah, is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. During that freaking courtroom trial, when Phoenix was accused falsely of stealing some kid's lunch money, which is literally what happened. That's what this image is from. And Edgeworth defended him and called bullshit. Like, Phoenix's class was literally ready to string him up. They held a mock trial and everything, and they were going to hold him guilty. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. Oh, really, Valvedrix? That's where that comes from? That actually happened to the director of the Phoenix Wright series? He was falsely accused in a classroom trial in elementary school? Are you serious? Really? That's what inspired him to make these games? Oh my god. That hurts my soul. No, Phoenix would be, Alex, because Phoenix is the one who was accused. Wow. You know, sometimes I just want to throw up my hands and say, you know what? Society can go to hell. I'm just going to go out into the woods and live in a cave with a bunch of goats. And maybe a few chickens for good measure, I guess. Well, Zelda, I really hope he was able to tell his story. No particular reason, Griggs. It was just the first animal that came to mind. You pathetic fool! Ms. Von Karma. I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Oh, you mean after I trounced you all those times? Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else. Oh, isn't that Ms. Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Why me? Nick! Oh, hi, Maya. Maya! I was almost starting to have pleasantly forgotten that you existed. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Oh. Oh, look! Everyone's happy! Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got on guard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Of course I did. You know I would never desert you, even though if I had to make the choice, I totally would have. We sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Yeah, next time, Maya, maybe don't go off with strange men to take phone calls. You dingus. Whatever, whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly. Right, of course. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm relieved you're all right. Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. Heh. Oh. Oh no, here we go. Freaking burgers. Alright, I think it's time we got out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Where else? Where else? Burger King. I'm starved. I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. No, Maya, please. I'm really not into vor. Can we just go home? You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please. If you insist. Maya's gonna eat everyone. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Yeah, and who's gonna pay for this? Me? Another feast? Come on, Nick, food! Ovan, you don't want to know. Please, don't Google it. Don't. Oh, Gumshoe! He's not dead. Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. I'm really glad you're not dead, Gumshoe. Are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. I'm just glad you didn't hit some guy on a bicycle. Because in Japan, that's a very real traffic hazard. Bob, there is nothing remotely safe about it, even on YouTube. Thank you very much. Telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him. You did it again, city boy. Felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Not to toot my own horn or anything. Thanks. Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even. Inder, I'm gonna just hard nope on that. Sorry, man. Ovan can research it himself. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now, everyone gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer for a tabloid. Great, we're gonna end up in the Inquirer. We're gonna be all over the national news for having affairs with a Nigerian prince. Oh, okay, Inder. Sorry, I didn't even look at it. It looked a little bit too dangerous for me to even click on during the stream. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal, amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh, me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait, that's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of those items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Oh, come on, y'all, it's over. Woo boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped. Never a dull moment with you, huh? Ha ha ha, you think? Why does she look so happy about that? I'm really worried about what that 4th item might be. I am really worried about that now. Being shut away for 2 whole days. Weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Of a hamburger! Sounds like you had it rough, gal, so where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Oh, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. I bet that's the 4th item, is her picture. Ah, it sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Ms. Von Karma's receiver. Ah, thanks to her I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Yeah, because it's on his coat. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. Yeah, say that to her face, Phoenix. I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. Yeah, no, Inder. That much I could tell. Huh. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. To express how I feel? Oh, the whip? Thrown away by Franziska von Karma. It has a certain nostalgia. Okay, I guess we could give him the whip.
Take that!
What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mystic Maya. Yes, Pearly. I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean. Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway, so who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick! Yeah, of course. Huh? Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It'd be better anyhow for $3,000. Huh? 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 Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, it's just great, Pearl. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal, time to let it all out. This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I've heard you say it. Been busy being a hostage and all. Fucking objection. Alright then, if you say so.
Objection!
I knew it. Yeah, okay, alright. Alright, I guess. Oh, great, Sugar Crow, thanks. Mean I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. Oh. Apparently, Carbonic. I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners, so I sort of made reservations for you two just in case. Great. That's going to be an even bigger tab. Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. Well, not telephone poles. I'm glad he got his job back, at least. Oh, hey! I totally forgot she existed. I'm Maggie Bird and retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. She neglects to mention the part where all of the angry, grumpy salarymen who've had a hard day perv on her or treat her badly and take their anger out on her. Yes, are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hottie. Ho ho ho. Recently, yes, that girl, you know. I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, even if I laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack. Didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Ho ho ho. Somebody just please freaking euthanize this guy. Please. Boo! It's time to begin our quest and let the world know we're serious. I plan to make on a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake? And bunnies who can talk? I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Moe's jokes. What piggy bank, darling? I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Moe Curls represent. We got our new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will ya? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. Boo again indeed, Slice. What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary electric razor recharging on its stand. I can't believe this, really. How long do they plan on making me do this? Oh, but it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? Oh, it was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty, and any man who hasn't heard about this is going to feel the pain in my heel. They're going to feel the burn of playing with fire is very dangerous where they Screw this. Have a good one, Ovan. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Ms. Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. Okay, sure. It has become difficult for me in this country. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity. What? Okay, sure. Fine. Shinji Mikami! Yay! Oh dear. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh no. Oh dear. International Departures Gate. Where are you going, Franziska? How did you know I was here? With this? That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. Huh. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. Uh-oh, here it comes. 4 things. It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska? So many expectations from everyone around me, expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what, and failure, such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that, but me? I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one, I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth. I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews. You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Huh. Today, you chased after me after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. Oh, good point. Whoops. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. Oh no! Really? What? The swerve! I am Franziska von Karma, Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you'd better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. She has a soul after all. Yeah, no, really, Griggs, totally. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again. In battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece. So I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Oh, this is their sequel hook, huh? Do we get to see what the piece of evidence is? Oh, Maya's drawing. Of course. Of course that's what it is. I figured. All right. All right. Okay. I get it. I see it. Well, hell, I guess that wraps up the second Ace Attorney game. Yeah, maybe, Dallin, maybe. But actually, tomorrow, I think the Shovel Knight, stuff comes out, doesn't it? So I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow, actually. For now, however, I think we're gonna go raid Rebby. Rebby is playing some Bloodborne. It looks like she's still doing her Blood Level 4 run. So let's go drop by her stream. She'll really appreciate some company. And she'll take very good care of you guys. I'm going to turn you all over to her. I've got a video I need to finish editing. I made a promise to one of my viewers who is about to go in for surgery that I would finish an episode of Fine Dining by the time he recovers. So I'm going to go do that and make sure that's ready for him when he gets home. Let's go show Rebby some love. Thank you all so much for joining me. And I will catch all of you tomorrow, probably for some Shovel Knight, I hope. Good night, everyone, and take care of yourselves.